They say wounds from love heal with time. But what if the wound isn't just about love? What if it's about humiliation? I stayed silent all this time. Not because I was weak, but because I was preparing something. They'll never forget. Bunga stood in front of the large mirror in the living room, wearing a simple house dress. Draped over her shoulder was a piece of white fabric, a delicate material meant for a bridal gown ordered by a client. She was a well-known wedding dress designer, praised for her soft, elegant touch. On her work desk lay a sketch of a gown in champagne gold. Next to it was the bride's name, one that made Bunga freeze. Citra Larasati. That name, too familiar for a betrayal, she whispered in her heart. But she didn't destroy the sketch. She kept sewing. Carefully. Quietly. But with a wound no one could see. A few months ago, Bunga's life looked perfect. Rayhan, her husband, was charming in everyone's eyes. A rising real estate entrepreneur, handsome and eloquent. They were known online as the couple goals. She never imagined the home she built with love and prayer would slowly crumble without a sound. Rayhan, I've got a meeting out of town for 2 days. Don't overwork yourself, okay? Bunga, smiling softly. I'm fine. Though lately I keep having nightmares. Rayhan pausing, hugging her from behind. They're just dreams. Not real. She nodded. But in her eyes something flickered. A strange intuition she couldn't explain. That day, the mailman delivered dozens of wedding invitations. She opened one of the luxurious gold envelopes. Her eyes widened. Bride and groom. Citra Larasati and Rayhan Pratima. Her hands trembled, not from sorrow but from a rage long buried. They think I didn't know. They think I'd fall apart seeing their names side by side on that invitation. But what they don't know, I'm the one sewing her wedding dress. Let her wear it. When the world witnesses the ruin they built themselves. I didn't cry when I found out Rayhan cheated on me. I stayed silent, collecting every truth they tried to hide behind sweet smiles and lies. She stared at the wedding invite, not shaken by lost love, but by trampled dignity. Opening her desk drawer, she pulled out a large folder, filled with evidence she had gathered for months. Transfer records of Rayhan funneling business funds into his personal account. Photos of Rayhan and Citra dining lavishly while he claimed to be on a business trip. Forged signatures on legal documents involving Bunga's family property ventures. She picked up one of their old wedding photos and slipped it into the folder. This is my wedding gift they'll never forget. Weeks earlier, Bunga had run into Citra at a boutique. Citra. Bunga. Oh my God, you're glowing. Are you expecting? Bunga. Yes, just entered the 3rd month. Citra, smiling sweetly. Congrats. Rayhan must be overjoyed. But when Bunga touched her hand, she felt something cold. Like touching a snake wearing the skin of a friend. She visited her father, Mr. Raziad, a retired judge. She explained everything in detail. Mr. Raziad, known for his calm wisdom, stared at his daughter for a long time. Mr. Raziad, are you sure you want to fight this? This is beyond emotion, it's legal. If you're ready, we'll take this all the way. Bunga with piercing eyes. Not just for me, Dad. For my child. They deserve a mother who doesn't bow to betrayal. Bunga stood before the mirror again, now dressed in an elegant black gown. Her face serene. She placed all the documents into her bag, picked up the completed sketch of the wedding dress. Tomorrow, Citra will wear this dress. But before she walks down the aisle, I'll make sure they both walk into the courtroom. She sat across from a lawyer, her father by her side, flipping through the documents. Lawyer. We've reviewed the business transactions. There's clear evidence of embezzlement, fraud, and document forgery. Mr. Raziad, we want formal charges, through legal channels, and Bunga, to be submitted to the prosecutor on their wedding day. Lawyer, understood. We'll turn that date into their sentencing. Meanwhile, Citra relaxed at a beauty salon surrounded by friends, posting a countdown to #CitraRayhan wedding. 2 days to go. At home, Bunga was stitching the final bead into Citra's gown. Her hands graceful, her eyes razor sharp. Funny how I've been made a bridge for the wedding that shattered my life. But that's okay, because from this bridge, you'll fall. She entered the wedding venue posing as a last-minute decor assistant, thanks to a contact. She checked every corner, especially the CCTV angles. Tomorrow, guests will sit here expecting a beautiful moment. But they don't know. The ones arriving won't be the bride and groom, but the officers in uniform. At 11 p.m., Bunga stared at her laptop. The legal report was ready. Complaint: Rayhan Pratima and Citra Larasati. Criminal allegations: embezzlement, fraud, forgery, and adultery under Articles 263, 372, and 378 of the Penal Code. She clicked send. See you tomorrow, at your own altar of destruction. The morning sun rose. White flowers hung across the wedding hall. Guests arrived in style. In the bridal room, Citra smiled, wearing the gown crafted by Bunga's own hands. Citra. It's perfect. Rayhan will be stunned. Meanwhile, Rayhan adjusted his tie. His phone rang. Unknown caller. He ignored it, not knowing it was Bunga's lawyer calling to inform. The arrest could happen any moment. Bunga sat calmly in a car outside the venue. On her lap, the wedding invitation, now signed with a note. A gift from your legal wife. She wore a deep navy gown and a graceful hijab. Not a victim, but a woman who rose from the ashes of betrayal. Let the world witness. Karma doesn't come with screams. It arrives quietly, with the coldest smile. The ceremony began. Romantic music played. They stood. Rayhan walked in. Citra followed. All eyes were on them. Suddenly, 3 officers entered from the back. One opened a file folder. Officer. Apologies. We're with the authorities. We have an arrest warrant for Rayhan Pratima and Citra Larasati. The hall erupted. Guests gasped in confusion. Citra. What is this? It's my wedding day. Rayhan. This is a mistake. Lies. Officer. We have all the evidence. Please come with us. Bunga stepped into the hall. All heads turned. She stood firm, her gaze icy. Bunga. Congratulations, Rayhan. But don't forget. You're still legally my husband. Dead silence. Phones came out. People recorded. Citra screamed. Rayhan froze. Photographers clicked. The scandal went viral within 2 hours. Social media headlines. Wedding ends in arrest. Husband exposed by wife on his big day. Karma in silk. Cheating groom and mistress arrested in wedding gown made by his wife. Bunga sat at the corner of the hall, calmly watching. Rayhan's family looked down in shame. Rayhan's mother, approaching in a trembling voice. Bunga, why would you do this? It's humiliating for our whole family. Bunga, cold clear. Humiliating. Your son and the woman you adore are the disgrace. I simply returned what they gave me, humiliation. Only I gave it back with elegance. In the interrogation room, Rayhan and Citra sat pale. Rayhan called lawyers. None answered. Investigator. All evidence is solid. Even the fake deed transferring your wife's business assets is confirmed forged. Citra, desperate. Rayhan, you promised everything was safe. That she'd never know. Rayhan, broken. I never thought she'd go this far. Bunga returned home in peace. She sat in the same chair that once bore her tears. I used to cry here, believing he'd change. Now I sit here, not as a betrayed wife, but as a mother who will raise a child, born from a strong woman. She looked at the calendar. A red circle marked Rayhan's wedding day. She crossed it out and wrote one word. Rebirth. I never needed the world to fight for me. I just wanted to prove I'm not as weak as they thought. Turns out, I was never weak. I just loved the wrong man.